They say when Jaguar Wright speaks, the whole industry trembles on this time. Her warning isn't just another rant. It's a prophecy. A chilling message aimed straight at the one man bold enough to call out Hollywood's deepest secrets, Katt Williams. The internet is on fire. Fans are stunned and whispers are spreading fast. What could Jaguar possibly know that even Katt doesn't? What storm is brewing behind the cameras and private jets, hidden beneath the glitter of fame and laughter? According to sources close to both stars, Jaguar's recent outburst wasn't random, it was urgent. In a late-night live stream, she dropped hints about what's coming for Katt, her tone trembling between fear and fury. "They're already moving," she said cryptically, her eyes darting like someone being watched. Within hours, clips flooded social media, fans dissecting every word, every pause, every sigh. Was it paranoia, a genuine warning from someone who's seen too much? And then came the twist. Strange phone calls, deleted posts, and a mysterious blackout during Katt's last appearance. Something isn't right. Something big is happening. Jaguar Wright just might be the only one brave enough to say it. Stay tuned, because this story is just getting started. When Jaguar Wright went live that Friday night, nobody expected the chaos that would follow. It started like one of her usual rants, raw, unfiltered, and heavy with truth bombs. The comments were rolling in fast, fans laughing, agreeing, or simply waiting for her next explosive claim. But then, her tone shifted. The fire in her eyes turned to fear. Her voice dropped low, almost like she was whispering to someone off camera. "I told Katt," she said. "I told him months ago that they would come for him. And now, it's already happening." Those few words froze her audience. What did she mean? Who was they? And why Katt Williams? As the chat went wild, Jaguar paused, glanced at her phone, and sighed deeply. "They think it's a joke," she muttered. "They think Katt can just keep running his mouth about the industry without consequence. But there are people in high places who don't play like that." Her words sent a ripple through social media, and within an hour, clips from the live were everywhere. The hashtags started trending. Hashtag Jaguar warning. Hashtag protect Katt. Hashtag Hollywood secrets. Fans were dissecting every second, slowing the video down, analyzing her facial expressions, trying to catch what she wasn't saying aloud. Behind the scenes, Katt Williams was reportedly filming a segment for a podcast when his team received dozens of calls from friends and colleagues, asking if he'd seen jaguars live. According to a crew member, Katt just laughed at first. "Man, Jag's always stirring the pot," he joked. But when someone played the clip for him, his smile faded. He sat back, silent, staring at the screen as Jaguar's voice repeated, "They're already moving." The energy in the room changed instantly. Someone whispered, "You think she's talking about?" But Katt cut them off. "I know exactly who she's talking about." Rumors began swirling that Jaguar and Katt had been in contact weeks prior. Sources claimed she'd reached out to warn him after an unnamed executive approached her with a deal that sounded too familiar. She allegedly refused and told Katt to do the same. "They'll come smiling," she told him. "But if you say no, they'll turn your world upside down." At the time, Katt reportedly brushed it off, thinking Jaguar was exaggerating. After all, he'd been through controversy before. Hollywood blacklists, canceled shows, police incidents, nothing new for him. But this time felt different. Days after Jaguar's livestream, Katt's social media pages started glitching. Posts disappearing, comments disabled, strange accounts tagging him in cryptic messages. Fans noticed his Instagram Live kept cutting off mid-sentence whenever he tried to address certain topics. Every time he mentions names, the feed just drops. One viewer tweeted, "Like someone doesn't want us to hear this." Even Katt joked about it on stage during a stand-up set. "You know you're telling the truth when your Wi-Fi starts acting like it owes somebody money," said, getting a nervous laugh from the crowd. But behind the laughter, there was unease. Meanwhile, Jaguar's situation was getting darker. She claimed her phone was being tapped, that cars were following her. "I ain't paranoid," she said in another live. "I'm prepared." She showed screenshots of strange numbers calling her, messages disappearing overnight. Fans flooded her DMs begging her to stay safe. One commenter wrote, "Jag, you can't fight Hollywood alone." Another said, "This is bigger than you and Katt. This is war." But Jaguar only replied, "They should have never messed with the truth," according to one close friend. Jaguar had been working on a documentary before things escalated. It was supposed to expose what she called the real Hollywood underground. She claimed Katt had agreed to be part of it to share his own experiences. But suddenly, production stopped. The director vanished, funding was pulled, and Jaguar said all her footage had been wiped clean. When she tried to access her backup drive, it was empty. "That's when I knew," she said. "They're not just trying to silence me. They're sending a message." Around that same time, Katt's longtime bodyguard reportedly quit unexpectedly. Insiders say he received a warning call from someone in the industry telling him to distance himself. Days later, Katt was seen alone at an event, without his usual security detail. Paparazzi photos showed him looking over his shoulder, expression tense. Gossip blogs speculated he was feeling the pressure. One headline read, "Katt Williams paranoid or targeted." Another said, "Jaguar's prophecy unfolding." Things reached a breaking point when Jaguar released a voice note, allegedly a recording of a phone call between her and Katt. In it, Katt's voice can be heard saying, "They tried to offer me something last week. Big money. But the price was too high. They wanted silence." Jaguar responds, "I told you. It's always the same Del money or your soul." The audio sent shockwaves through social media. Fans debated whether it was real or edited. But the emotion in their voices felt too raw, too fake. "He sounded scared." One commenter wrote, "That wasn't the Katt we know." Within hours, the clip was deleted from every platform. Jaguar's accounts were suspended for violating community guidelines. But by then, it was too late. The damage was done. Millions had heard it, reposted it, and dissected every second. Conspiracy channels went wild, claiming Katt had turned down a secret Hollywood contract and was now being punished. Others said Jaguar was being used as a distraction. But the one thing everyone agreed on was that something strange was happening behind closed doors. Then came the night everything changed. Katt was scheduled to appear on a late-night talk show. But minutes before airtime, producers announced he had fallen ill. Fans were confused. He'd been seen joking and laughing on set earlier that day. Some claimed they saw him arguing with someone backstage. Voices raised, security rushing in. No official statement was released. The next morning, Jaguar posted a video of herself crying. "I told him not to go," she said. "I told him to lay low, but Katt doesn't listen until it's too late." Her tears felt real. Her voice trembled as she spoke of energy shifts and contracts being activated. She insisted that what happened to Katt wasn't random. "They did something," she whispered. "He's not himself right now." Comments flooded in, fans demanding answers. "What do you mean he's not himself? Where's Katt? Who are they?" Jaguar didn't answer directly. Instead, she said, "Watch the interviews. Look into their eyes. You'll see who's real and who's been replaced." At this point, mainstream media started to take notice. Talk shows mocked Jaguar, calling her a conspiracy theorist. But others began to question the coincidences, the deleted posts, the sudden illnesses, the silence from Katt's team. Even some celebrities chimed in. A well-known singer tweeted, "Hollywood isn't what you think. Some of us can't speak, but Jag ain't lying." The tweet was deleted within an hour, but screenshots spread like wildfire. As the drama unfolded, fans began to pick sides. Some believed Jaguar was losing her mind, while others were convinced she was a whistleblower, risking her life to protect Katt. In one emotional live, she said, "I don't care if they come for me next. The truth has to be told." Her hands shook as she held a piece of paper up to the camera. It looked like a contract full of legal jargon and blacked-out names. "This," she said, "is what they offered Katt. They told him it was for a new movie deal, but look closely. That ain't a movie. Contract it's a silence agreement." The live abruptly cut off mid-sentence. The screen went black. Fans panicked, thinking something had happened to her. For hours, no one could reach Jaguar. Her phone went straight to voicemail. Comments poured in under her previous posts, prayers, and frantic theories. Did they get her? Is she safe? Where's Jaguar? The mystery deepened. Then, late that night, Katt Williams reappeared online. His Instagram story showed him sitting in a dark room, wearing sunglasses, speaking slowly. "I'm fine," he said. "Don't believe everything," he said. "Don't believe everything. You hear?" But something about his tone felt off to calm to rehearsed. "They can't silence the truth," he added before the clip ended abruptly. Fans flooded the comments with one chilling question: "Is that really Katt?" And just like that, the story took another turn. The next morning, social media was in absolute chaos. Jaguar Wright's name was trending again. But this time it wasn't for what she said was for what she didn't say. She hadn't resurfaced since that strange blackout during her live, and nobody had heard from her inner circle either. Fans were desperate for updates. And conspiracy pages started posting side by side videos claiming that Katt Williams and that dark Instagram story didn't move or talk like the real Katt. "His voice is too slow," one fan posted. "The real Katt always has that spark, that rhythm when he talks." This one sounded like he was reading a script. Another added, "Something's off with his eyes, like he's looking past the camera, not at us." By noon, Jaguar's husband finally posted a shaky video filmed from inside their car. He looked exhausted, his eyes red from crying. "Jag's okay," he said quietly, glancing around as if making sure no one was following him. "She's resting. We just need some time." But fans weren't convinced. The comment section exploded with people saying the tone of his voice felt forced. "Why are you whispering like someone's in the back seat?" One comment read, "Blink twice if she's not safe." Another joke, but the tone was nervous, not playful. Meanwhile, several comedians and industry insiders began to weigh in on Katt's situation. One comedian who had worked with Katt years ago went live and said, "Hollywood been after Katt for a long time. He knows too much. He talks too much. Every time he gets close to exposing something, boom, something happens. Arrest, scandal, or health scare." He paused, then added, "I don't know what Jaguar's warning him about, but I believe her. I've seen that machine up close. It eats people alive." As this was happening, Katt canceled 2 upcoming comedy shows due to unforeseen circumstances. Fans who had already bought tickets were furious, demanding refunds. But others weren't angry, they were scared. "This isn't just a regular cancellation," a fan wrote on X. "He's being silenced in real time." Screenshots of supposed DMs from someone claiming to be part of Katt's team surfaced online, suggesting that he was under observation and advised not to speak to media. Whether real or fake, they spread fast. Then, out of nowhere, Jaguar reappeared on a small podcast. Her face looked tired, her voice raspy, but her energy was fierce. "They tried to shut me down," she said. "They tried to make me disappear, but God said, not yet." The hosts were visibly uncomfortable, shifting in their seats as she spoke. She described how, right after her last live, her power went out and her phone started overheating. She claimed someone had hacked into her home security system. "I know who it was," she said, "and I know why. Katt's next if he don't move smart." One of the hosts asked her directly, "Jag, what do you mean when you say they? Who exactly are you talking about?" She looked straight into the camera and said, "The gatekeepers. The ones who decide who gets fame, who gets destroyed, and who gets replaced." Her words sent chills through the audience. The clip went viral instantly. But what made it even stranger was that hours after it posted, the podcast channel deleted the entire episode. No explanation, no statement, just gone by evening. More people in Katt's circle began acting strange. A makeup artist who'd worked with him posted a cryptic message. "Sometimes silence saves lives." Then deleted it minutes later. A well-known producer tweeted, "Pray for Katt. That's all I can say." and then vanished from social media altogether. Fans started connecting dots that might not even have been there, but the fear was real. Jaguar's words had planted a seed of paranoia. And it was growing fast. Around this time, paparazzi photos of Katt started surfacing. He was seen in Los Angeles wearing a hoodie and sunglasses, keeping his head down. In one photo, he appeared to be arguing with someone near a black SUV. Another photo, taken the same day, showed him sitting alone at a diner, staring at his phone. According to the person who took it, Katt looked lost, like he was somewhere else in his mind. Rumors began that he was considering leaving the country. A fan claimed to have overheard him say, "I need to disappear for a while." The drama reached a boiling point when Jaguar went live again, this time from a secret location. She said she was off the grid and that she'd been warned not to go home. Her voice shook as she described receiving an anonymous message that read, "You've said too much. Stop now." She claimed it came from someone inside Katt's circle. "They turned him," she whispered. "He's not the same Katt I talked to before." When fans asked what she meant, she hesitated, then said, "The energy's wrong. That man on camera, he's controlled." Comments exploded instantly. Is she saying Katt's been cloned? Nah, this is deeper MK Ultra vibes. This is how they erase people. Theories spiraled out of control. Even people who didn't believe in conspiracies were starting to admit something about the whole situation felt eerie. Jaguar's live was abruptly cut off again after she said, "They're watching me right now." The feed froze, then disappeared. Later that night, Katt finally made a public appearance at a charity event in Atlanta. Cameras captured him walking the red carpet, smiling, posing, cracking jokes, but something about his eyes seemed distant. Reporters shouted questions about Jaguar's claims, but he just laughed and said, "Jag's got a wild imagination, man. I love her, but she gotta chill." The audience laughed, but the way his smile dropped afterward didn't go unnoticed. As soon as he stepped off the carpet, someone caught him muttering, "They're gonna make me look crazy." The next morning, Jaguar posted an audio clip, an alleged voicemail from Katt. In it, his voice trembled as he said, "They're closing in. I can't talk long. Don't post anything else. You don't know what's at stake," her caption read. "He tried to warn me before they got to him." Within an hour, the post was flagged and removed. She reposted it 5 more times before Instagram permanently banned her account. By now, even people who'd called her crazy were starting to wonder if she was telling the truth. Celebrities began dropping subtle hints too. A former talk show host tweeted, "Truth sounds like madness when the world's asleep." Another actor commented under a viral clip, "She's not wrong about everything." Then that comment vanished minutes later. It was as if the internet itself was being scrubbed of anything that gave Jaguar's claims legitimacy. Katt's single quotes as family reportedly grew concerned as well. His sister allegedly told a close friend that Katt hadn't been acting like himself lately. "He's distant, quiet, not funny anymore," she said. "He used to call every day. Now it's like he's there but not there." When she tried to visit him, his security reportedly turned her away. "Orders from management," they said. That phrase, "orders from management," spread like wildfire through blogs and fan forums. Who was giving those orders and why? As the tension grew, a leaked screenshot began circulating online. It was supposedly from an email exchange between a Hollywood executive and a publicist discussing damage control for the Katt Williams situation. One line in particular stood out. "Contain Jaguar immediately, she's jeopardizing the rollout." No one knew if the email was real, but it fit the narrative too perfectly. Jaguar even addressed it in another brief live session, saying, "They call it damage control. I call it covering up the truth." Her voice was shaking, but her conviction was unwavering. "Katt's trying to fight back," she said, "but they've isolated him. They're surrounding him with people he can't trust." She paused, glancing at something off screen, then whispered, "They're here again," before the stream abruptly ended. For a few seconds, viewers swore they heard knocking in the background before the feed cut to black. In the following days, Fans organized online movements with hashtags like #SaveKatt and #Justice for Jaguar. They flooded Katt's social media with messages begging him to go live to prove he was okay. But every time he did, it only deepened the confusion. One live showed him cracking jokes, but halfway through, he froze mid-sentence and stared blankly at the screen for almost a full minute before the feed ended. People replayed it thousands of times, convinced something was wrong. "That's not Katt," one fan posted. "His eyes are empty. The real Katt's gone." Others speculated that he was under some kind of contract or spell, forced to act normal. "They broke him," a longtime supporter wrote. Hollywood finally broke Katt Williams. And somewhere, watching it all unfold, Jaguar was preparing for her next move. She'd vanished again, but her final words from that last live echoed through the internet. "They think they won, but I got receipts. And when I drop them, the world will finally see." What she didn't know, or maybe she did, was that Katt was making plans of his own end. Their paths were about to collide again in a way that would shake everything up. The calm before the storm was over. The next act was about to begin. 3 days after Jaguar's last live, the internet was quieter, but only on the surface. Her name still floated through comment sections. Her clips still reappeared on fan pages faster than they could be deleted, and people whispered that something big was about to happen. Katt Williams hadn't spoken publicly since the strange red carpet interview. His team claimed he was resting and working on new material, but everyone knew that was code for something else. The silence was too loud, too deliberate. And then, like a lightning strike, everything changed. A video appeared on a small traffic YouTube channel that had barely 50 subscribers. It showed Jaguar sitting in a dimly lit room, her voice hoarse but urgent. "They tried to erase me," she said. "They tried to erase Katt too. But I still have the files. I've made copies." The video spread like wildfire before anyone could stop it. Within hours, major gossip channels were reacting, dissecting every frame. Jaguar claimed she had recordings, emails, and documents proving that several powerful figures had orchestrated a compliance campaign against outspoken entertainers. She said Katt was one of their main targets because he makes people laugh while telling the truth. And that's the most dangerous kind of voice. The tone of her voice was weary but sharp. She looked like she hadn't slept in days, but her conviction never wavered. "They gave him a choice," she continued. "Play the game or disappear." And Katt said no. Now look what's happening. The blackout, the sudden cancellations, the weird interviews, it's all part of the process. The clip ended abruptly, mid-sentence, as if someone had cut the feed. But this time, Jaguar had outsmarted them. Before uploading, she'd sent the full video to multiple independent creators, each given instructions to post it at random intervals if she went missing again. Over the next 48 hours, dozens of channels dropped the same footage, ensuring it couldn't be completely erased. The next day, Katt was spotted at an airport. Grainy cell phone footage showed him walking quickly, flanked by 2 men in dark suits. When a fan called his name, he turned briefly, smiled faintly, and said, "Pray for Jag." Then he was gone, boarding a private jet. That short clip reignited the storm. What did he mean? Where was he going? And why did he look so tense? Fans began tracking flight paths, speculating about his destination. Some claimed he was heading to Atlanta. Others swore he was flying overseas. No one could confirm anything. Meanwhile, Jaguar's husband released a new statement on his social media, saying she was safe but shaken. He insisted that everything she'd said was taken out of context. But the way he avoided looking into the camera didn't go unnoticed. "That man looks like he's reading a script," a fan commented. "Blink if the Fed's in the room." The internet was relentless, dissecting every movement, every breath. It wasn't just gossip anymore, it was a full-blown digital manhunt for the truth. And then, something unexpected happened. Katt went live. It started with just a black screen and the sound of him breathing. After a few seconds, his face appeared. No makeup, No fancy backdrop, just Katt in a plain white t-shirt, sitting in what looked like a hotel room. His eyes were tired but focused. "I know what y'all been hearing," he began. "I know what Jaguar's been saying. And I need to tell y'all something before it's too late." Chat flooded instantly with thousands of comments. He raised his hand to quiet the noise. "She ain't crazy," he said softly. "She's just telling it how it is. But what she didn't tell you, what I couldn't tell you, is that it goes deeper than any of us imagined." For the next 15 minutes, Katt spoke carefully, choosing his words like a man walking through a minefield. He talked about contracts that bind souls, not signatures, about rooms where laughter turns into silence, and about how he'd been offered a seat at the table years ago but turned it down. "They never forgave me for that," he said, "and now they're trying to make an example out of me." The chat went wild. Comments poured in, begging him to name names, to drop proof. But before he could continue, a loud noise echoed from off-screen, a sharp thud, like a door being forced open. Katt's eyes widened. He glanced to his right, and the screen went black. That was it. The live ended. People replayed the clip over and over, trying to catch background details. Some claimed they heard footsteps. Others swore they saw a shadow move across the wall before the screen cut. Within hours, Katt's entire page disappeared. No videos, no posts, not even his profile picture. Fans panicked. The hashtag Where's Katt started trending worldwide. Even mainstream outlets started covering it, though most dismissed it as a viral stunt. But the energy online said otherwise. Something felt wrong. The following morning, Jaguar reappeared again, this time. She wasn't warning anymore. She was furious. "I told y'all," she shouted in a new live stream. "They got him. They got Katt." Her eyes were red and tears streamed down her face. He tried to speak and they shut him down mid-sentence. "I warned him they were watching that room." She slammed her hand on the table, breathing hard. "This isn't paranoia. This is war." Her phone buzzed several times during the live, and each time she looked at it, her expression darkened. "They're texting me right now," she whispered. "They're telling me to stop, but I won't stop." Her live hit over 2 million views in just an hour before being taken down. But clips were already everywhere. Fans were crying, cursing, praying. Others accused her of faking the whole thing. "This is a Hollywood PC-op," one commenter wrote. "They want us distracted." Still, something about Jaguar's raw emotion felt too real to ignore. She looked terrified, yet defiant. "If anything happens to me," she said, "go to the warehouse in Dallas. The files are in the black box." That single sentence sent fans on a frenzy. Dozens of self-proclaimed truth seekers claimed to know which warehouse she was talking about. A few even live-streamed themselves driving around industrial areas, hoping to find it. Meanwhile, Katt's close friend, an old comedian from his early days, broke his silence in an interview. "Look, I ain't saying I believe everything Jag's saying," he began. "But Katt did call me last week, right? And he didn't sound right. He said, 'They watching me, bro. I can feel it.' I told him to chill, take a break, but he said he couldn't. Said it was too late." That single quote fueled the fire again. Fans were certain now something had happened then. Suddenly, Katt's official Twitter account reappeared. It posted a simple message, "I'm fine. Stop the rumors." Oh. But fans immediately noticed the punctuation, the tone, the rhythm that didn't sound like Katt. "He never types like that," one fan tweeted. "That's not his voice." Screenshots comparing his old tweets to the new ones started circulating, showing how different the phrasing felt. "This is a handler tweet," someone commented. And the phrase "handler tweet" trended within hours. Jaguar saw the post and responded in a now-deleted video. "That's not him," she said quietly. "They're using his accounts to control the narrative." She leaned in close to the camera, eyes wide. "Listen to me. Y'all, if Katt goes missing, it's because he refused the final offer." She paused, trembling. "They call it the reset clause. Once you sign it, you're not the same anymore." The atmosphere online turned electric. Everyone wanted answers, but no one could separate truth from paranoia anymore. Bloggers started reporting that Katt had been spotted again, this time in Miami, dining with a group of executives. A grainy video showed someone who looked like him laughing with a glass of champagne in hand. Fans debated whether it was really him or a body double. "That man ain't laughing," one viewer commented. "That's an actor playing Katt. The real Katt would never be this calm." The video only deepened the mystery. Behind the noise, Jaguar vanished once again. Her husband claimed she was in a safe location, but rumors spread that she'd been detained. Others said she went into hiding voluntarily after receiving threats. But before disappearing, she reportedly left behind a USB drive with a journalist who promised to reveal everything if she didn't resurface. That journalist later claimed his house had been broken into, his laptop stolen. The only thing missing, he said, was that USB drive. As days turned into a week, fans began to lose hope. The excitement turned into fear, then exhaustion. Many started believing Katt had finally caved, taken the deal, and gone silent for good. But then, out of nowhere, another video dropped. A short clip uploaded to a random channel with no name, no description, no comments allowed. It showed Katt sitting in a car, looking straight into the camera. "If you see this," he said, voice trembling, "it means I'm still fighting." He looked over his shoulder nervously. "They can take my shows, they can take my money, but they can't take my truth." Before the clip ended, he added one final line. Jag was right. That was all it took. The internet exploded again. Fans flooded timelines with messages of support, demanding justice, begging both Jaguar and Katt to go into hiding. Others feared the worst. He'd just signed his death sentence. One tweet read, "They're not going to let him walk after saying that." But nobody knew what they even meant anymore. The lines between reality and illusion had completely blurred. The clip was taken down within minutes. But its impact couldn't be undone. It was clear now that Katt wasn't finished, and neither was Jaguar. Both had drawn the line in the sand, and Hollywood, or whatever force they were fighting, wasn't done fighting back. The storm Jaguar had warned about was no longer coming. It was here, and the whole world was about to feel it. The tension was unbearable, and the next move would decide everything. The next 48 hours were like a fever dream. Every corner of the internet buzzed with panic, speculation, and anticipation. Nobody knew what was real anymore. Jaguar's name reappeared on social media. But this time it wasn't from her anonymous accounts, began posting videos. Claiming to have access to the black box she'd mentioned, each clip was grainy, blurry, and unsettlingly quiet. One showed what looked like stacks of papers and a laptop screen filled with emails from unverified addresses. Another had an audio file playing faint whispers. Some people swore they heard Katt's voice in it saying, "They're watching." Others said it was fake. A cruel hoax feeding off the chaos, but then something undeniable happened. Katt Williams resurfaced. Not on Instagram, not through his team, but live on stage in Chicago. The crowd didn't even know he was going to show up. He wasn't on the lineup. He just walked out mid-show during another comedian's set, took the mic and said, "I'm not supposed to be here tonight." The audience roared, thinking it was part of the act. But as soon as he started talking, the laughter died. "They told me to be quiet," he said, pacing slowly. "They told me to say I was fine, smile for the cameras, and keep it moving. But I can't do that anymore." His voice cracked, and the room fell silent. Y'all ever feel like the truth is right in front of you, but every time you reach for it, someone turns off the lights? He paused, looking out over the audience. That's what they do. They turn off the lights. Someone from backstage tried to cut his mic, but Katt grabbed it tighter. "Nah, you're not cutting me off this time," he said, his voice echoing. "They said Jaguar was lying. They said I was crazy. But let me tell y'all, she's the only one telling the truth." Gasps filled the room. People pulled out their phones, recording every second. "You can hide the footage," he continued. "You can silence the voices, but you can't kill the message." Within minutes, security rushed on stage. Katt didn't resist, but before they reached him, he looked straight into a fan's phone and said, "Tell Jag it's starting." That single line sent shivers through millions once the clip went viral. It was the message Jaguar had warned about. The code. It's starting. Back online, chaos exploded. Jaguar appeared again, streaming from a dimly lit hotel room, visibly shaken. "I saw the video," she said softly. "They let him speak because they think it's too late. But they don't know what I've got left." She pulled out a small flash drive and held it close to the camera. "This is the black box. This is what they've been trying to erase." Her hands were trembling. Emails, contracts, recordings, all of it. Katt's name is on everything. A knock echoed through her room midstream, soft but deliberate. She froze. The live chat flooded with frantic comments. "Don't open it. Stay calm. Call someone." Jaguar whispered, "They found me again," before standing up and walking toward the door. The screen shook as she moved, the phone slipping slightly from her hand. The sound of the door creaking open filled the silence. A man's voice said something indistinct. And then the stream cut out. Within an hour, multiple fan accounts started posting that Jaguar had been taken. Some said she'd been arrested, others claimed she was moved to a safe house. No one could confirm anything. Even her husband went silent. The uncertainty only made the story bigger. Mainstream outlets finally caught on, calling it a dangerous viral hoax. But even their coverage felt strange flat, rehearsed as if they'd been instructed what to say. Both Jaguar Wright and Katt Williams are fine, one anchor stated with a frozen smile. There is no conspiracy. But fans didn't buy it. Why is every network saying the exact same sentence? Someone tweeted, "Same words, same tone. This is scripted." Later that night, a private Twitter account with the name Truth Will Rise posted a single video. No caption, no tags, just the footage. It was Jaguar again, sitting in what looked like a car, whispering into her phone. "They didn't get it," she said. "The black box is safe. It's not with Mitts, with someone they'd never suspect." Her eyes darted nervously. Katt knows. When you see the sign, you'll understand. Then she smiled faintly and ended the recording. Fans went into overdrive. What sign? Who has the box? What's happening next? Theories flooded every corner of the internet. Some said the sign was Katt's next comedy show. Others thought it was code for a documentary release. But before anyone could piece it together, Katt made a surprise appearance on a live podcast the next day. He looked tired but calm. "Everybody wants to know the truth," he said. "The truth is dangerous, but it's also necessary." He leaned forward, voice dropping low. "What Jag said, some of it sounds crazy, but crazy don't mean wrong." He paused, then added, "They already tried to break me. They took my shows, my deals, even my peace, but I'm still here." The host asked him directly if he believed someone was after him. Katt chuckled softly. "I don't believe it," he said. "I know it." The interview cut off mid-question when a loud bang echoed in the background. The host flinched, looking off camera, then abruptly ended the stream. The video was pulled from the channel minutes later, replaced with a message that read, "Technical issues." But the internet had already seen it. Katt's words became a rallying cry. Hashtag Still Here trended worldwide. Fans started uploading compilation videos of his old interviews, linking moments where he'd hinted about hidden forces and contracts of silence. The frenzy reached new heights when, a few days later, a small independent news outlet uploaded a mysterious file to its website. It was password protected and titled Project Black Box. The description simply read, "For Katt." People around the world tried to crack it, speculating it contained Jaguar's evidence. Within 6 hours, the website crashed under massive traffic. When it came back online, the file was gone. Meanwhile, someone posted an anonymous audio recording of Jaguar saying they think they're winning. But the truth always finds a way. Her voice sounded distant but determined. When you hear Katt laugh again, that's when you'll know it's over. Fans clung to those words, treating them like a prophecy. A week later, Katt stepped back on stage for an unannounced show in Atlanta. No lights, no introduction, just him and a single spotlight. For 10 whole seconds, he stood silent, scanning the crowd. Then, slowly, a smile spread across his face. That familiar Katt laugh loud sharp, full of life code through the room. The audience went wild. People cried, screamed, cheered. Someone in the front row yelled, "Jag sent the sign." Katt paused, then pointed upward, saying, "She always does." That moment went viral instantly. Every platform lit up. "He laughed again," fans wrote. "She said it." She said when he laughs, it's over. To them, it wasn't just a performance. It was proof that Jaguar was safe, that the truth had survived. But the mystery wasn't over. After the show, Katt walked off stage, ignoring reporters, leaving behind only one cryptic statement on his social media. "The files are out there. You just have to listen." People searched everywhere: dark web forums, leaked archives, private pages, but no one ever found the black box. Or maybe they did, and it was hidden again, waiting for the next voice brave enough to speak. As the days passed, Hollywood returned to its usual rhythm: news scandals. New headlines, but fans of Jaguar and Katt never forgot. In comment sections, you could still find the same words repeated like a prayer. She warned him. He listened. Now they both vanished, but the truth didn't. Some say Jaguar's voice can still be heard faintly in the background of old recordings, whispering, "Stay awake." Others claim Katt's next special will tell everything in coded jokes only true fans will understand. Whether any of it's real or not doesn't even matter anymore. The warning had already become legend in the end. Jaguar writes, "Warning to Katt Williams wasn't just about Hollywood. It was about survival, about standing up against a system that feeds on silence." And Katt, in his own way, answered that warning not with fear, but with laughter. Because even in the face of the unknown, even when the lights go out, laughter like truth has a way of surviving. And somewhere far away from the cameras and chaos, maybe Jaguar's watching, smiling faintly, knowing her prophecy came true. It's already happening. And just like that, the story circles back to where it all began. One morning, one voice and one comedian who refused to be silent. Jaguar Wright's message to Katt Williams wasn't just a random outburst. It became a movement, a mystery, and a mirror reflecting the strange machinery behind fame. The whispers, the warnings, the sudden disappearances, they've left fans questioning everything. Was this all a warning about Hollywood's hidden power? Or was it to artists fighting ghosts of their own making? Whatever the truth is, one thing's certain: the world can't look away. Katt's last message, "The files are out there," still haunts timelines. People are still searching, still decoding, still wondering what those files could reveal if they ever surfaced. And Jaguar's last words, "It's already happening," echo louder with every new rumor, every strange coincidence. Maybe the warning wasn't just for Katt. Maybe it was for all of us. So now it's your turn to decide what you believe. Do you think Jaguar was exposing something real? Or was it all just smoke and mirrors? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this story isn't finished until you add your voice to it. And if you've been hooked from the start, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next deep dive. We're just scratching the surface, and the next revelation might drop any minute. Until then, stay alert, stay questioning, and remember, sometimes the craziest stories are the ones closest to the truth.